Dave, let's get right into the QB position. Um, Everybody wants to talk about QB1, who might be QB1. Uh, who do you got, Dave, and why?
I think what it sounds like today is it's going to be Alex Orji, but that is not that's not set in stone at all. I mean, just listen to Big Ten media days. They're going to find a way to put Alex Orji on the field in one way, shape, or form. And I don't know if that means he's QB1. I mean, the other two names in this battle is Jack Tuttle, Davis Warren. Those guys are going to be good for you in a different way. We have seen Alex Orji, I believe, throw one pass or make one completion, something like that, in his career at Michigan. So we don't know if he can throw the football. Watching the spring game, take that for a grain of salt and what it is. But, Jack Tuttle's been injured. This is like his 7th year in college football. It was kind of the same story for him over at Indiana, where he played behind Michael Penix Jr., come over to Michigan, transfers with A.J. Barner over here. He's dinged up again. And, in the small glimpses we have seen of him, as even in spring ball last year, he looks like he could be a fine quarterback. He's mobile. He can complete the easy passes. And, and listening to Sherrone Moore, it sounds like they want a quarterback who's not going to turn the ball over. Call that a game manager, whatever you will. They want somebody that's going to take care of the football. And that's what Michigan has done over the years. And so, Davis Warren's another guy who can throw the football. He throws the football very similar to J.J. McCarthy to me, from what I have seen. I'm not calling him J.J. McCarthy. He doesn't have that same element that J.J. has. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it, Brant. There's going to be a drop-off. There's going to be a drop-off from having a whatever J.J. went, top 11, top 12 draft pick in the NFL draft to sugarcoat that and say, no, we're just going to pick right up where we left off with Alex Orji or what, like, we're kidding ourselves, right? That's a Michigan homer hat. There's going to be a drop off. Now, I think what Alex Orji gives you that the other two don't is just that element of these defenses would have to plan for Alex Orji. He's a freak athlete. He's going to run the football. You don't know what he's going to do, play in, play out. RPOs would be a nightmare with him. The question with Alex Orji is, and we won't know this until the start of the season, can he make the simple play? Can he make the smart pass? Can he continue to extend drives? You're going to have an elite defense, okay? An elite defense that is going to put you in position to win a lot of weeks, even weeks where you maybe shouldn't win. That defense is good enough. So you need a quarterback that can take care of the football. Where my head is at right now is I think it's Alex Orji, because I think that he's just kind of that electric athlete. I'm not calling him Jalen Milroe or anything like that, but he gives that sort of dynamic that the other two don't. So that's where I'm at with it. Curious to know where you're at, because this is by far the burning question in Michigan football right now. Who is QB1?
Yeah, funny, Dave. It took the first half of our first segment to get our first disagreement for this season, and I'm going to go with Tuttle here. I think that he may have the trust and the confidence of the coaching staff right now. And Dave, if there's anything we know that comes from the Jim Harbaugh lineage, it's steady Eddie. It's, you do not turn the ball over. You don't put us in bad positions. It's, can we trust you? And I think Jack Tuttle is just that dude right now. For any Michigan fans that might not know, Jack Tuttle's in his 7th year of college football, which is mind-blowing, to say the least. However, he started like 2 or 3 games only, Dave, and that's a concern for me. That is not also a lot of experience. Like Alex Orji is not going to have a lot of experience. But I think it's one of those situations where it comes down to he's not turning the ball over in practice. He has a good fall camp. Fresno State isn't the cupcake schedule that we've seen in the past, Dave. So they need to be ready for this moment. And if Alex Orji is going to give them question marks about turning the ball over, that's a real issue.
I guess here's my question, though, with the QB battle. Don't you think that Michigan would have been rumored more maybe during the springtime when the transfer portal was open to go after a quarterback? Like I never saw Michigan heavily favored to land somebody or going after someone that was in the transfer portal. Like, to me, that kind of reads they felt good. I mean, for better or worse, whether we agree or disagree, they felt good about these three guys we're talking about.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great point. Is Michigan went ahead and went ahead with their NIL money or whatever they had funds wise to go after different holes to plug. You bring in a guy like Jayshon Barham. I know he probably wasn't cheap, but you're going to get him for a couple of years. He's still a young guy, but I think they looked at that room and I said, this is good enough. However, again, we go back to the turnover concerns. And another thing, Dave, I think that is underestimated about JJ McCarthy or what he was certainly, hey, we're in the right play at the right time, at the right down and distance, and I'm commanding the offense. And that's something that Alex Orji, I don't know if I've heard anybody come out and say, Dave, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you've heard anybody say, hey, he's got it all right now. He's the leader in the locker room. He's the guy that's got the troops ready to go. I just haven't heard that from anybody. So I just don't believe that's his job sealed up.
I have heard, try to take it for what it's worth, and we can move on to the next one. I have heard Donovan Edwards in particular mention Alex Orji as a guy who is a vocal leader in the locker room. And so, I think that the way, from what I've heard from Alex, he carries himself in a way to be the Michigan QB1. But so does Jack Tuttle and Davis Warren. Davis Warren has an incredible story, overcoming leukemia, making his way to Michigan. I mean, these guys, I feel good about where they're at. I don't feel great, but I feel good. But it will be very roll the dice and see what this looks like, come week 1 against Fresno State.